That hurt. More verticality. Ethan Horvath needs to move real bad. I doubt he's going anywhere. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he really minds riding pine. I'm starting to believe that at this point.
It's
really,
it's the easiest job of making a six-figure income, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
You go out there and practice. You make a couple saves. You come up once or twice every couple months. Play like a cup game or whatever. It's a whole argument about the backup quarterback never really wants to get on the field because it's a cush $400,000-$600,000 a year gig, you know.
Yeah, and someone could tackle you and your leg could end up near your ear. Your ankle could end up near your ear. I mean, who wants that? You know, I mean, there are crazy guys out there like that former Redskins quarterback. Can't remember his name, man. Broke his whole freaking, shattered his leg, had like 30 surgeries, and then came back and played again for the Redskins. That guy's insane. Smith, I think is his name. That's everybody's name. Matt Miazga. I don't think he's not gonna leave Alaves because they need a backup center back. And no, he's not gonna be a starter anytime soon. But man, is he getting just shit. Everywhere he goes, it seems like shit. When he was in France, that was a horror experience for him. And now it's starting all over again at Alaves. So I don't think he's going anywhere though, because the bill's been paid. And
well, I mean, it's a screaming indictment for unless you're just an absolute starlet talent, signing with these big clubs could be a death sentence to your career.
Well, they're not even a big club.
Well, I'm talking about Chelsea.
Yeah, because you just become a loan puppet, basically, and that's what he is. He's a loan puppet. And he hasn't convinced anybody he's played for that they're willing to spend the actual millions of dollars that it will take to sign him. He had some great years in Holland, but that team still was like, yeah, it's all right. You can have him back. We're not going to pay that fee. Fuck that. Even though we finished, at the top of the table. So poor Matt. Matt Turner, not going anywhere. Not going anywhere.
I was shocked when I heard that there's a rumor of him heading out. I mean, props to him if he drew interest and even pulls a transfer, but I don't see him go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, he's older, even though goalies can play forever, So that's not really the issue. The issue is, and we all know it, he doesn't play with his feet. So everybody outside of like a handful of teams in England championship, they all want to play out of the back. And that's just not what Matt's going to do. He's going to heave it up the field a little bit more than a guy who's really comfortable playing it out of the back. And I'm so sick of that anyhow. Nothing more boring than watching a bunch of dudes kick it back and forth and their own third, blika, bluka, blika, bluka, and no one looking to move the ball forward. It's annoying. And I don't know. There's nothing wrong with direct play. So I guess, I heard like the commentary on Augsburg. Oh, it's not. They don't play pretty soccer. Well, fuck that. Who cares? What's pretty to you might not be pretty to me. Like, I don't like tiki-taka soccer, like where the ball is just being passed constantly side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side, backward sides, backward side, side. I don't like it. I don't like that. That does not excite me at all. I want to see players try to make through balls and long passes and take a chance. That to me is exciting soccer, not tiki-taka. I don't know. Am I alone here, Brett?
I think there's a healthy mix of both styles would be ideal. The ability of maintaining possession, but also looking for that direct line. Not necessarily hoofing it up the ball 40, 50 yards. And that's a possibility still. That has to be in your wheelhouse. But I'm not. We always joked around back when Lampard was running Chelsea, and it was just nonstop along the back five, that's wing backs in the back three, but just back five, just
I'd fall
back and
asleep.
forth across, back and forth across, back and forth across. And it's like, are they ever going to move the ball up the fucking field?
That's like Greg's teams too. When
Mhm.
they're suffocated, they do the same thing. Side pass, back pass, side pass, side pass, side pass. Switch fields. Whoa. No
Back
one
pass.
you didn't do it fast enough. So now we got to back pass and start over again. Switch fields. Everybody knows what we're going to do. So did you watch the Behind the Crest, the last one? Where
No, I did not. You told
So-
me, but you said there was interesting things about it, but I never got around to watching it.
the only interesting thing was at halftime during Bosnia, Greg's like, okay, now they're going to sit back. They're going to play a 5-3-1. And so we're going to need to move the ball faster from side to side. I'm like, oh, God, really? That's
Yeah.
your fucking solution? They got 5 in the back. They don't even have to shift that much. What are you doing? I know he's trying
Couple
to
steps
think
this
the
way,
front.
couple steps that way.
And honestly, they played a 5-4, not a 5-3-1. They played a 5-4. So moving it side to side isn't doing you any good whatsoever. You got to find some cracks in the crevices. People got to move to be moving in open spaces in the middle, or I don't know. To me,
and again, we talked about this with Jimmy, and we talked about this many a time because it happens when we play lesser sides that are just looking to get that point. When somebody camps and sits or parks the bus and just sits back there, you have to rip shots
from the outside.
Make the keeper make a save, make him make a deflection. There may be deflections off of the back, but you can't just try to cross it and hope to God that one of your 3 attackers in the box happens to out jump the other 8 defenders,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
we've talked about this before.
I mean,
ad nauseum.
We could talk about triangle passing too and all that, but that's stuff that Greg already talks about. The problem is the triangle passes don't ever really amount to anything on our team.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Looks anyhow. James Sands. Apparently some rumors about him going overseas. I think it'd be a fine move for him if he did, but it's not going to be to anybody huge. Maybe a Belgian top level team or a Holland mid-table, like a Utrecht or something like that. I don't think it's going to be anything big.
Well, we see we're already at a point now where we see a bunch of players that are going to Belgium, going to Denmark, going to Holland. We're not even going to Holland, but we have a player that's getting consistent minutes in Holland that can't seem to get a sniff on our national team.
Yeah.
So this might not be a good move for him. I think, don't get me wrong, for him as a player,
money.
Take it, man. Take it and run. Hopefully you can do well and continue to progress. But as far as the national team concerned, going, and I don't want to call them, lesser European leagues. Let's just say that that may be a better way of wording it.
Not the top five.
Yeah, that's probably the best way of wording it. Not the top 5 leagues. But you're constantly seeing players that are going there and playing, and they may be playing well, they may be playing bad. I don't know. It depends on the player and by the game. But they're barely getting a look at the national team. But then you have a number of MLS players that are constantly getting a look at the national team. And again, nothing to snuff at MLS. No. It's not an MLS thing. But come on. we have other players that could get a sniff.
Yeah, you look at like Chris Durkin, Ian Harks. That's kind of his mold.
Luca De La Torre.
Luca De La Torre is a much more attacking player than
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you're talking about sand mold. My bad.
Yeah. So Chris Durkin can't get a sniff from the U.S. national team. Ian Harks can't get a sniff, but that's the kind of level where James Sands is probably headed, unless he's headed to like another Italian team in sort of the bottom half of the table. That's possible too. I guess Americans are hot right now in Italy, at least in Venezia. So, but yeah,
in fairness, those players can barely crack the game day roster of the national team.
Yeah, Tessman. Yep, you're
even
right.
Busio's finding a hard time to get on there.
Busio's still a question mark for us. Like, how much more is he going to grow? But I did hear he ends now in the top 10 most expensive U.S. Players. So I guess that's nice.
His value definitely increased this half season.
Yeah. Brian Reynolds, still no word on an actual loan move out of Roma. People are saying maybe he'll go back to MLS. That's most likely. I don't know. I mean, you've already made the move over there. At least get loaned to a Serie B team and get some time.
Derek, I mean, you talked about Club Bruges so much, you're ignoring the rumor that I sent you?
Yeah, don't go to Club Bruges. Whatever you do, yes, because your anus will hurt after a time period. Just ask Otasawi and Horvath, who basically have owned the Pine since when they were at and still are for Otasawi at the club.
In fairness, though, this could just simply be an issue of a player that has zero interest of seeing the field / Club Bruges always playing national team goalkeeper. And then the next player, Tasawi, having a personality
issues. Yeah, apparently he's a handful. Yeah, that could
maybe
be that.
Reynolds can go there and do well. Get time. Who knows? But then again, maybe he sits bench.
Yeah, I don't know their right back situation, so he might fit in perfectly for all I know. But I mean, that's a warning sign, though. Every American that's ever gone to Club Bruges in the last 5 years just rides Pine or has some sort of issue. I mean, I don't know what kind of character they're looking for at Club Bruges, so maybe like Matthew Hoppe in Mallorca, that's his character or his personality was sort of an issue or whatever. So that could be it. What? Can you hear my dog whining?
I can.
Gizmo, what's your deal, bud?
Every show we have a dog issue. Usually it's mine snoring.
Well, he's gotten this issue where he won't use his back right leg. Has it hung up, so I think he can't get back up on the bed. So hold on 1 second. I'm going to throw him back up. Come here. All right. Issue solved. That was the issue. He couldn't jump back on the bed with 3 legs. Now,
there's go back there and see the dog. Your Gizmo's pissed on your bed.
He's definitely been pissing in the house since I've been working. Because he needs to pee every 2 hours and I'm gone for 8. So what do you do? It's a sad thing.
Got a bladder the size of a pea. What do you expect?
I know, but he used to be able to hold it forever. Now he can't because he's 14 years old. So now he needs to piss and shit every 2 hours.
We just replaced all of our carpet in the house, and we've had to get all of our baby gates back out and block off all the areas because my dog also is 12 going on 13. And she just doesn't care anymore. She's like, whatever. I'll go where I want.
And just to clarify, I know. Just to clarify, also when dogs get old, they get these mental hangups. And Gizmo's always been a super sensitive son of a bitch anyhow. Like, you can't yell at him. That'll freak him out for a day. Like, if you yell at him, he will freak out.
You pull that, that SNL skit where it's, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say he gets depressed and he hides in the closet. So you can't yell at him. He's very sensitive. So he hates, like, if you're ever mad at him, he hates that. That's the worst thing in the world for his emotional situation.
You pull off that like Will Ferrell SNL skit where it's like, instead of talking down or beating your dogs, you come at them with a level of sarcasm. Hey Gizmo, you really added a nice accent to the couch.
Yeah, I've never yelled at him.
You must be exhausted from your working 9 to 5. Oh no, wait. That's me. I'm the one that's working 9 to 5. You're the one that stays at home licking his own balls.
Yeah, he doesn't have any balls. Yeah, he lost those. So yeah, I mean, he's been limping on these 3 legs now for 2 days, but then he did that 2 weeks ago as well, and he did it 2 weeks before. And then he would stop. But I've looked at the leg. I've taken him to the vet. They've looked. There's nothing wrong with his leg. There's nothing wrong with his foot. So something's going on in his head right now, and I can't quite figure out what it is.
It's like fell asleep and it's like pins and needles.
Yeah, I don't know. I can touch his paw and everything. Nothing. He does not hurt. I mean, he doesn't like that hurts or anything. He's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. What are you doing? Touching my fucking paw. So I don't get it. But he needs a psychiatrist is what he needs. At 14, he's losing it. Also during the break, during this holiday break, I'm doing something weird, dude. Something I haven't done since I was like 20 something.
Yeah, we heard of that first episode, masturbating alone.
Well, not only am I jerking in my spare time, but I'm also making a hip hop album for the first time. So the challenge I gave myself like 20 years ago was like, All right. If you don't know and people are going to be like, wait, Derek and hip hop? Yeah, that's actually where I started. I didn't start out with indie music, independent music. I didn't start out there until like Pavement circa.
Yeah, you've
In
heard gangster rap. This is German rap.
No, this is old hip hop. So I started out, my first experience of hip hop was Boogie Down Productions in KRS-One back in like 84, 85. And I was hooked, dude. My philosophy, oh, hooked. And then, you had Eric B. and Rakim, you had the Beastie Boys, you had Tribe Called Quest. And I mean, my CDs, a number of them that I have in tapes, actually. Yes, tapes, people. It's extensive. I was a hip hop like fanatic. And then hip hop changed and I stopped listening to it. But my challenge was to make an album out of the Bee Gees Odessa album, which is a classic if you've never heard of it. No, it's not one of those. No, it's not. It's not disco. So people don't know this. Some people don't. But the Bee Gees were an actually legit, real cool fucking band that played great music. And then they did disco afterwards because they need to make money. So then they did Tragedy when the feeling's gone and you can't go. Yeah, then they did that. All right. But before that, they were a real band. So this album is full of like little tiny pieces you can sample. And I know sampling's not what people do anymore, but I'm doing it anyhow because I don't plan to make any money out of it. I just want to make like, what was the album they did on Jay-Z's with the White Album, what the Beatles did with the White, they did with the Beatles White Album. They took Jay-Z's lyrics and music and his vocals, and then they made samples and cuts of the Beatles album with beats, and then put his vocals on top of it. It was a mouse. He's like a DJ guy, and he did that. Well, anyhow, that's what I'm doing. So anyhow, that was my holiday break. I'm still working on it. It's like 11 songs, so we'll see how it goes. I think we're done with soccer for tonight. I mean, we've been done with
soccer for the last 5 minutes.
I think more like 10. All right, yeah. So all these parts are going to be probably broken up in little snippets of 15 minutes or so. But hey, thanks for everything you guys did in the last year to get us where we are. We're verging on 1.8. I think we're really close. I don't know how close. And subscribers. So continue to like, share, and subscribe and keep listening. We appreciate it a lot. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card.